Imagine a place that tells a story spanning centuries, where culture and nature intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. That's the beauty of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm Abigail, and this is Global Treasures, the podcast that covers the history, travel tips, and legends surrounding one of the 1,248 World Heritage Sites each episode. These places have been identified as having universal cultural or natural significance that is so exceptional that it transcends national boundaries and is of importance to present and future generations. Welcome to Season 3, where we'll explore the 27 sites that UNESCO added in 1980 together. Thank you for listening to the Global Treasures podcast. We appreciate all of your support, and you can continue to support us by subscribing at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, or your favorite platform. You can also follow us on TikTok, Facebook, or check out my blog on globaltreasurestravel.com. Today, we're exploring a World Heritage Site located on a sun-drenched island with crystal blue waters in the heart of the Mediterranean. The Megalithic Temples of Malta are a pinnacle of prehistoric human achievement. These were considered the oldest freestanding structures on Earth until the discovery of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. These temples were built across 3 distinct periods between 3600 BC and 2500 BC, when the practice of building temples seemingly stopped altogether. Archaeologists believe these complexes weren't influenced by outside travelers, but were actually the result of local cultural evolution. Understanding the timeline is like peeling back layers of an onion. There was the early Neolithic, spanning 5900 to 4100 BC, where we see phases like Ar-Dalam, Grey Scorba, and Red Scorba, where humans were just beginning to leave their mark with pottery and fire. Then there was the Temple period, between the years of 4100 and 2500 BC. This is the Golden Age. It's broken down into the Zebuj, Imjar, Skantia, Saflieni, and Tarshin phases. Each site is unique, but they share a common layout. They start with an oval forecourt, which leads to an entrance with 2 giant upright stones. Inside, you'll find D-shaped chambers. Depending on the temple, you'll find 3 to 6 of these, branching off a central passage. Builders used hard limestone for the external walls to withstand the elements, while a softer type of limestone was used for the inside for those decorative carvings you see. While there are many megalithic remains across the island, UNESCO officially recognized 6 specific sites. I'll quickly cover each of them. The first is Göbekli. It was the first to be inscribed in 1980, and its name means Giant's Tower. Folklore claims it was built by giants, and when you see the 5 massive apses standing on the plateau, you might just find yourself believing it. Then there's Taha Jurat Imjar. located near the village of Imjar. This is a smaller, double temple complex. Its name comes from the Maltese word for boulders. It sits on the site of an even older village, providing us with a wealth of Imjar phase pottery. The third is Skorba. Skorba might not be the most visually imposing, but it is scientifically important. Charcoal found here was used to radiocarbon date the entire temple culture, dating all the way back to 4850 BC. Unfortunately, much of the facade was destroyed over the centuries. The fourth is Hajar Im. Standing on a ridge overlooking the sea, the carvings here are still beautiful despite the severe weathering from the sea winds. The name roughly translates to stones of worship. The fifth is Manedra. Just 500 meters from Hajar Im sits Manedra. This site is an astronomical marvel. During the summer solstice, the first rays of light illuminate the edge of a decorated megalith. During the equinox, the sun passes straight through the principal doorway to reach the innermost niche. Last but not least, Tarshin is the most elaborate of all of them. Unlike the others, it's surrounded by modern urban development. It features 3 temples built between 3600 and 2500 BC. Here you'll find relief carvings of bulls, a sow, and intricate spirals. Built from massive limestone blocks, some weighing several tons. These temples are architectural marvels. And what's even more fascinating is that we still don't fully understand how they were constructed or exactly why. Some theories suggest it was built by a lost ancient civilization with advanced prehistoric knowledge. And of course, some like to suggest that extraterrestrials, aka ancient aliens, were involved. Now, to be clear, there's no scientific evidence supporting any of these ideas. But what is real is this. We still don't fully understand how these temples were built with the tools available at the time. And that mystery, it's part of what makes this place so compelling. Travelers who make this a priority on their travel bucket list will find that the most brilliant discoveries are often hidden in distant corners of the planet. Now that we've covered a bit of the history surrounding the site, let's talk about the logistics if you want to plan a trip to visit. I'll put some links in the show notes to help make planning your trip a bit easier. If you're flying in from another country, you'll want to land at Malta International Airport. From there, Malta is very accessible. You can rent a car, use taxis, or ride services, or even take a public bus, which can connect you to most major sites. Most of the temples are within a 30 to 45-minute drive from the airport or main cities. To visit the temples, you'll typically purchase tickets through Heritage Malta, the organization that manages these sites. Individual temple tickets are available, or you can buy a multi-site pass, which is often the best value if you're planning to visit several temples. Prices are generally reasonable, with discounts for combined tickets. You can book ahead online during peak seasons to avoid waiting in line. So while I would argue Malta is a year-round destination, timing does matter. The best time to visit is spring, between April and June, and fall, from September to October. The weather is more comfortable, and the crowds smaller. The summer can get very hot, with temperatures rising above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Winter has mild temperatures, but some of the sites have more limited hours, so keep that in mind. No matter the time of year, the best time to visit the temples, typically, is early in the morning or late in the afternoon. Not only will you avoid those crowds, but the lighting is incredible, especially where the temple is aligned with the sun during the solstices. Now, let's talk about where to stay. Most travelers stay in Valletta, which is the capital, and also another UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a very walkable city with a ton of restaurants, hotels, homestay options, and bed and breakfasts. I actually covered this site in a previous episode, so I'll be sure to link out in the show notes in case you want to take a listen. Malta really is small enough that you can stay in one place and explore the entire country. If you're visiting the temples, some other spots you can pair your trip with include the fabulous Mediterranean beaches or the Blue Lagoon on Comino, which can be reached by taking what may be the world's most gorgeous ferry ride. This is one of those destinations where history and relaxation go hand in hand. Malta's population is about 500,000, and the communities around the temple sites are small and deeply connected to their history. Tourism is important here, but so is preservation. That said, a quick reminder, here are some rules to follow at the site. Stay on marked paths, and don't touch the fragile structures. These temples have survived for over 5,000 years. The goal is to make sure they last another 5,000 or more. And of course, my favorite pivot. You know I'm going to highlight the food. You cannot leave Malta without trying the fresh seafood or rabbit stew, which I've covered in previous episodes and is a traditional dish. They also offer a flaky, savory pastry filled with cheese and vegetables. Most of the cuisine has some Mediterranean flavors with a heavy Italian influence. Meals are often relaxed and social, very much about slowing down and enjoying the moment, the way a good vacation should be. Traveling to the Megalithic Temples of Malta isn't just about checking off another UNESCO site. It's about visiting a place that challenges you to rethink everything you know about human history and realizing how much we still don't understand. More importantly, it's about pushing yourself a little bit outside your comfort zone, whether that's taking a long flight or simply standing in silence, in awe, in front of something ancient and trying to make sense of it. Because the most meaningful travel experiences aren't the easiest ones. Those are the ones that stay with you forever. And I can guarantee that the Megalithic Temples of Malta is undoubtedly one of them. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Join me next time when I'll cover yet another World Heritage Site worth visiting. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep treasuring the remarkable diversity of our world's heritage.